Hi guys, I'm going to flip you down so you can see what I'm doing. This is my first video, so we'll see how it works. Talk to you later, or talk to you in a minute. Here, see you later. Alright, try and make sure we're in the screen okay. Alright, best I can do right now. Okay. Make sure you have all your stuff together. This is my stuff. I did not use a very heavy cardstock as my base. This is what I had on hand. It was given to me a while back. And I thought, oh, we need to get some use out of this than what I've been using. So I did. But you'll see it is pretty flimsy, which is fine because I add more cardstock to this and then other paper too. Some not designer, series paper, but patterned paper. So one side has a little bit of a texture on it. I don't know if you can tell or see that. Try and move that a little bit. I can show you in a little bit exactly what the texture is. And then there's one side that's smoother. So this is the side that I will actually do my scoring on. I have a Martha Stewart scoreboard. Make sure you have all your tools right with you because it helps so much just to have it available at the drop of a hand. So there's my paper, my scoreboard, my scissors. Always have a pencil. Bone folder. I use a stylus for my scoring because I use the bigger side, and that way I get it in the channel enough to make a fold, but not to where it cuts the paper. A piece of wax paper makes your stylus run over your paper so much smoother. It's just a big help. I've used it with great success. And then I always have my rulers right here. You know, if I'm working on just cards, that it's just this little ruler. This is what I use 97% of the time. Now, anything that I need that's bigger, you know, if I'm anything like that, then I use this nice. I love this ruler. It's Tim Holtz. It's not because it's Tim Holtz that I love it. I just love all of the little lines on it. Makes everything, and you could see through it. I love to be able to see through it on my paper. So that does not have, you know, I don't care about brand. I don't get caught up in all that, but if I like it, I like it. So we will get started. And I just like to always have my stuff right here when I'm doing something. Oh, and of course, my glue, my art glitter glue. We'll never use anything else. Now this is my cutting and scoring paper. This is what we will be doing. And I think you can see that okay. I hope. And I think that's the right way. But we'll try it this way too, just in case. But I will also read them off to you. So you don't have to worry about that. But we will be starting scoring at 6 5/8, so I'll show you why we use this. But anyways, the piece of paper I had has a serrated edge right here. And I always put that off to the right here because this is going to actually be folded in. So we will not see this serrated edge. And I just didn't want to cut it off. I'm using it to just add a little bit of stability, a little bit more stability to the project. And so 6 5/8 is our 6 5/8 is our first score. So what I do is I take my wax paper and I just do this, just run it along the paper, you know. And I know I'm going to be making some other scores over here, and so you know, go ahead, just do that. It's not a big deal. There's no science to it. I don't know why it works. It just kind of puts a little bit of makes it a little bit better to score. So 6 5/8. What I love about Martha Stewart is each one of these little channels is 1/8 of an inch. And so I'm not big on figuring out eighths and all that. I know the 1/4, the half, and the 3/4. Those are easy. But that's why I really like her scoreboard, is because it does have 1/8 marks, and there's a lot you end up doing with the eighths, unfortunately. And so I'll count. See, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 5/8 is my first score. And see how easy that was? And I do this 2 or 3 times, usually 3. You know, doesn't matter. Whatever floats your boat. This is your project. And then 7 7/8. And again, just do what you need to do. And then 10 3/4. All right. Okay, so our first score line was at 6 5/8. Our second score line was at 7 7/8. Our third score line is at 10 3/4. Okay? Then the serrated edge, I lift that part up and I turn it. So now the serrated edge is at the bottom of my scoreboard facing me. And here is more real estate. All right. And I know I'm going to score at 4 7/8. So I will come over here and do this. And then I will score again at 7 1/8. So I'll just come over here and just run that up and down. That's all. That's it. I've used that. I'm done. So 4 7/8. There we go. And 7 1/8. And there we go. Okay. So 4 7/8, 7 1/8. All right. This is all our scoring. We're done with the scoreboard. Okay. So at this point, I'm done with my stylus, and it is being put away. Now, do you see all of the score lines? Maybe that helps a little bit. Okay. We've got the top half up here, and this is the bottom half. And you've got 3, basically, well, there's 9 sections, but 3 strips, so to speak. I'm going to put an X on these 3 boxes. These 3 boxes we do not need. We will cut those away, okay? So there's the top of the page and your very first score line at 6 5/8. We don't do anything up here. This is only down here at the bottom. And I get my handy dandy scissors out. And I just cut. I'll tell you what, guys. These bifocals make my life hard. It's just so hard sometimes for me. Maybe I'll get used to it. I hope I do. I've had them long enough. I should be used to them by now, but like I said, oh well. The things that happen as you age. All right, and then here we just go up here and cut this away. Come on, why are you being difficult? It was not this difficult. I'm just not getting a good hold of it. All right, there we go. Now see, you don't have to put the X on this because you're not showing anybody how to make this. I am. So you could use this, this side right here these would be good for stamping sentiments on for a card. Or this side here, I told you was textured. See the texture? Did you see that little bit of a texture there? That's why that's the outside. So anyways, but I'm throwing mine away. do not believe, well, I may need my scissors to trim up here in a little bit. And I do see that there's just a little bit here that I didn't get totally in the channel. My score channel there. There we go. All right. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm just leaving it like that. No, I'm not. That looks pretty bad. Seriously. There we go. Okay. Now we'll put the scissors away. They're close enough I can grab them if I need them. Okay. Now this is where we'll glue. We'll use a little bit of glue. And you'll see this is that serrated edge. Just start doing your creasing, okay, on your fold lines. Actually, I want to make sure this edge is flush on here. This is the outer edge, see? So I don't want to have to do any more cutting on that edge. I don't mind cutting over here if I have to. And I could cut over here, but I just prefer not to, so I just make sure that they meet up. See? Like that. And then you just fold. Fold your score lines. Crease them well. I don't go back and forth. Do it the other way because this doesn't need to be that way. This is folding this way, and this is how it's going to stay. You know? So, it's not like it's an album or anything, and I need it to move both ways. All right? And that's front and back. There we go. So now see, everything has been creased and it's ready to go. And see, that's that's it right there, okay? Except for I do glue these down. I just don't want them to get caught on anything. And I don't want to cut it off because I just wanted to add a little bit of stability to this little bit of front here. So you just take a very little bit of your glue. I used to use the green and white bottle Tombow. That's a really good glue. This, I just still love so much better anyways. Still, it's my favorite. Glue that. Make sure. It dries very quickly, and that's one of the reasons I like it. And now that I'm getting the hang of doing this, I'm hoping the video turns out okay. I would like to do some fun things, like maybe, I think it would be fun to do a craft room scavenger hunt, you know, some night, just as a fun thing. Whoever's around, it's not like would not be a mandatory thing, but I think it would be fun. That's something I've been percolating in my head, and I think it would be fun. Okay. Now, what I do is I do need my scissors again, see? I have to cut this little piece off right here. Oh. Yeah. Like, that would kill me, but, you know. Not really, but. Oh, yeah. See? That turned out, that was less messy than last night's. All right, so see here, this is it. Now, I'm going to turn this over, and this is what we glue everything to. Okay? And because this is very flimsy, I have another heavy, you can see this is a nice heavy cardstock, it doesn't do a lot of the movement that you see with this. And so I took these and glued these on the bottom because it adds stability. I want this to hold up because I want to be able to make more cards and hand this one's going to be for my mother-in-law. I've already made her the cards, and I just want to be able to make her more cards in the future and her just be able to throw them in her little card holder. And it doesn't have to be anything major, right? And these two pieces, you cut two pieces. These are 1 1/8 by 4 3/4. Okay. I'm going to do this. I wasn't going to glue them down. I was just going to cut the pieces and then show you. But I decided I might as well glue them down. Right? These do not have background paper on it, or designer paper, or whatever kind of paper, that pattern paper, that's what it is. Okay? This is just straight paper. I'm not gluing anything on this top part because I want to put a ribbon on this, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay? And so then these two pieces are 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. See, they would fit right here. But with the magic of video, I already glued my pattern paper on. So yeah, kind of thought that might be upside down. Just make sure you have it the right direction. I noticed when I was looking at this that some of the things were showing up backwards. So we're doing this for you. All right, and see, I don't like a big lip right here. See, I like it just a little bit to show me that I do have some background there. But there is a piece of white paper there. I don't want 1/4 inch. That's why I do it in 8ths. But if you want to put 1/4 inch, that is totally your choice. You know, this is your project. Once you figure out how to do the first one, and take it and make it yours, because that's what it's all about. And here is, so see, there. This is also one of the reasons I like the wet glue. I got a little bit of time to move it. And like I said, I like to do this with my bone folder. Alright, so there's that part. It's pretty easy. And that's what this looks like. See? Look at that. We're almost done. Okay, now this folds up like this. See? And then, you know, it sits there like that. You got this is the spine. Now, I have ribbon. This is a piece of ribbon I got out of my container, which was just ribbon from a package I had gotten at Christmas that someone had tied, you know, a bow on my Christmas package. And I just find a nice long piece, no big deal. And I find the middle, which is right there. And I just kind of put it here where I kind of think where I want it to be. This is where I'm not 100% sure yet. So that's why it's like this. I want to make sure that when it ties, it'll tie down here on the bottom. See, like this. And it will be up in here somewhere, you know. Okay? So that's how I figure out what I like. And I want it up a little bit more. And then I hold this tight right here. This organza ribbon is not wanting to let me get my hand on it. I know I'm going to move that up a little bit. And that's where I want this, okay? So I take my pencil and I just make a mark. And then I just make another one down below. Okay? It's all going to be hidden. So it's okay to write on this. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay? Now this is where I would use tape runner. Because it's just easier when you're using tape runner on ribbon instead of a liquid glue. I've just found that to be so. And I don't go to the edge because, you know, I've got a 1/8 of an inch lip, remember? So I just take this and mark it, mark it, mark it. See? Doesn't have to be perfect because it's all going to be, this is a permanent tape runner. So, I mean, it's going to hold my ribbon. So I just put it in there. See? Like that. And that's now done. In there. Am I still taping? Yep. So see? So easy, guys. You don't have to do this. You can maybe put some Velcro dots right here. I just wanted to do this ribbon because I just like the froofiness of it, you know? That's just how I am. Now, this is where I do use a little bit more glue than I did on the others. Just because I want to make sure it's going to stay that ribbon down. And that, so I just squeeze just a little bit harder so that there's just a little bit more glue come out. It's still not a lot, guys. Really. Okay. Sorry. The reason I put the green thing here is so because my desk is white and it makes it easier for you to see. Okay. See? Look, and so this is a nice, thick, heavy cardstock, so there's not any bubble where you can't even tell that there is a ribbon underneath of that cardstock. Okay? And the magic of video. I already have these glued on. And like I said, just squeeze a little bit harder. But you can still see, I mean, it's just a pinhole, so it's not like you're getting a whole lot of glue. And then you just line it up where you want it. I do line it up at the bottom first, but then I don't push it down until I see where I like it up at the top and the sides, see? And then you just do that, see? And one more. I'm going to lose this pin. I used to have a magnet on the side of my bottle, but then I got to where I wasn't even putting it on the magnet. It's like, why did I go to that trouble? So, it came off. Alright. Glue, 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 glue. Glue, glue, glue. Okay. You guys will have to tell me what you think of the video. Won't hurt my feelings. Trust me. Got pretty thick skin. Not worried about it. But tell me about what you think about the video. If it's worth even considering doing some more here and there. Tell me what you think about doing this. I did not follow a video or anything. I just sat down and decided where I wanted things and did it that way. Normally I do look at somebody's video, but I pondered this all day yesterday. So when I did it late Monday night, when I made the first one, I had an idea of what I wanted, and I just had to decide where to score everything, you know? And you know what, guys? It's done. So see? Easy. And this is what it looks like with the cards in it, which I keep piling stuff on top of. All right. Now these cards that I made were pre-made cards. Pre-made bases and envelopes that you can buy at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I'm sure Joann's too. I just don't get to Joann's. I am usually at Hobby Lobby more than anyone, more than Michael's. But they're in sets that you can buy. And so, see how nice they fit in there? There's much more room for more in there if I wanted to, but I just made 8 for now. And these aren't single layer cards. These are bulky. This has, the card base, a layer of card, paper, cardstock, a dimensional, and another piece of cardstock, So, this has glitter and sequins on it. This has thicker dimensionals. So, this is, don't worry about, I made allowances for having thicker cards in here if needed. So, you don't have to worry about changing your dimensions if you, use extra layers or use more dimensionals. Because these are, look, this has dimensionals, see? So, they fit in there nicely. And, these are 5.5 by 4 inches. That's how they came pre-made. But a regular A2 card is 5.5 by 4.25. And we usually, most of us, buy invitation envelopes at Walmart that are the 50 count because they're like $5. And that's what I use. And they come with that little pre-adhesive piece on it, which is nice. But these will fit in here as well. Perfectly. Okay? So, then you just take this. Well, come on. And fold it up. I lay it on its side. And tie my bow. And if you have any of those backward tweezers, this is a perfect place to use them. These are actually called suture removers. Brenda, you probably know about those. Don't you work in a doctor's office? And they're perfect for holding onto your ribbon as you're trying to tie it. And so see, tie your bow. And no, it's not a pretty bow, but that's okay. This is just for show, showing you guys. And so see, there's the bow. And there, it's done. Look at that, all done. And it'll sit nicely on a bookshelf. And look, there's a spine. And you can write something on here, you know, whatever. Kristen's cards or Tara's cards or whatever. But I'm not going to cut my ribbon off yet because I want to leave it. I'll fix all that in a little bit. But that's my video, guys. Hopefully this will work for you. And tell me what you think. Talk to you later. Bye.